Gemly. So we're doing something a little bit different today. Gotta wait for them to settle down. Maui is kind of the hardhead. He's the little black one. The other ones are a bit on the warmer side because they're on a heating pad, and then we have the big light on. So that's Elsa trying to get loose from Maui because she's warm and she doesn't want him on top of her, but he keeps insisting on climbing on her. But look at them, they're getting so big. Oh! As you can see though, I keep forgetting they're on this side of me, but the cam, I'm sitting in a different spot. But if you look, Hercules is the smallest now compared to the other two, when in fact him and Maui were the biggest. Now Maui and Elsa are the largest. Hi Chris. Hi Stephanie. So this was kind of a random decision. I wanted to see if I could get this other cam working, and it is working for now. I'm using an open program to actually run it, so we're cross our fingers for now that it doesn't mess OBS up. But I figure we would set this up so you guys could see these little cuties, and we'll just, you know, have the puppy cam on. They all just finished eating, by the way, so you guys are wondering why they're all so zonked out. They just finished eating. Yeah, they really are. And we do have a scheduled live stream for Saturday, so I won't be online tomorrow. They really are, aren't they? I'm doing good. I actually got some really good sleep last night. All of them slept a 6-hour stretch, and then woke up 8 and slept another 4. I, however, only slept another 2 hours, so I got roughly around 7 hours of sleep, 6-7 hours of sleep, because of course it takes me time to get to sleep. So when they went to sleep last night, they went to sleep around 11 o'clock, and I didn't get to sleep until roughly around 12:30. But I did get about a 4.5 hour stretch right there, and then about another 2 hours after they slept the second time. They still can't hear very well yet. I'm starting to notice that, like, seriously loud sounds they catch, but not like talking and stuff like that. They have not picked up on that yet. Mr. Maui, he's like, I just want to sleep on you. Aw, precious boy. They're so cute, you guys. And Winnie is barking, of course, because Mocus is outside. We're at a point now, like, Winnie barks only at Mocus, not at any of the other cats. And the reason for that is Mocus keeps attacking her. Winnie is so small, and Mocus is a little bit bigger than Winnie, honestly, weight-wise. Winnie's only 10 pounds, and Mocus weighs 12. But Mocus keeps attacking Winnie and won't let Winnie come in to eat and stuff. And so we're really having a tough time right now with Mocus. Not only is she attacking Winnie, she started attacking Godric yesterday, which is the first time ever, and she's been around Godric since she's been a newborn. So I don't know what's going on with Mocus right now. I've already called the vet, and we're thinking a lot of it has to do with her medical condition. That might be the reason. It's alright, Godric. It's alright. So now the dogs bark quite a bit. Whenever they see Mocus coming, they bark at her. Yeah, usually, Chris, I usually am an insomniac. Like, I usually have the hardest time getting any sleep. But I've noticed, like, when I was pregnant with both my kids, I didn't sleep hardly at all. But when I delivered them and was doing, like, the, you know, nighttime feedings and whatnot, I would sleep when they would sleep, which is a huge deal because I would never sleep prior to. When we had Mocus and I was doing bottle feedings for Mocus, I slept when Mocus slept at night. And so it was like the most sleep I was getting. And now with these guys, every time they go to sleep, I lay down and I go to sleep, which is really crazy that I'm actually sleeping. I really hope it doesn't go back to me tossing and turning again once these guys are weaned, because we've got 2 more weeks of bottle feedings, and then we can start introducing solid food. Maui may end up going on solid food a little bit sooner. He's already up and walking, like up on his feet walking versus sliding on his belly all the time. And so we'll have to see. We're going to kind of play it by ear with them. You can start introducing solid foods, of course, in a mush form, roughly around 3 weeks. But we'll see how these guys are doing. Oh my gosh. Here, let me see if I can move the camera a little bit so you guys can see their little faces. Oh, the camera does not like to move like that. Okay, there we go. Gotta love that they try to pile on top of each other. Get it, Hercules. He's so tiny. He's like, come on, brother, where are you going? Aww. Just have to watch them that they don't suck on each other's ears or private parts, because that has been an ongoing issue. And so we have to watch them because that can cause infections. And so if you guys see, like, if you see me reach in quickly to move them when they're doing that, don't be alarmed. It's just specifically because if they suck on each other's ears, their ears are still developing and they don't hear quite yet, they can cause infections in each other's ears. And we don't want that at all. We deal with that right now with Tonks doing that to Godric all the time. He used to do that with Akira as well. And it has been an ongoing issue we cannot seem to break Tonks of. That has been... You made it, Allie! I actually had no intention of doing a live stream today. Oop! There goes Elsa. Oh my goodness, big girl. What happened? She's like, I fell down. Aww. And they all have their eyes open now. So... why are they literally so cute? Like, why? They are literally all just way too cute. And now you guys can see Maui's little marks on him. I know, right? They're getting so big. They're all of like palm size. Like they literally fit in the palm of my hand exactly. They're so tiny. So my brother had to go back to Virginia, but I'm glad I got to see him. And oh, yay, Chris, I'm glad you got to see him. Yeah, they're super tiny. It's so funny. Like, they're much bigger, of course, than what they were when they were born. Like, the day we got them was the day they were born. They were born literally hours before we picked them up. And they were, like, Elsa was 2.8 ounces at birth, so just shy of 3 ounces. And both the boys were exactly 3.4 ounces. Yeah, but comparatively. And now, Hercules, the little golden one, he is now just shy of 9 ounces. Elsa, the little white one, she is now 10.2 ounces. And Maui, who is, of course, Mr. Crazy-Go-Lucky over there, he is 11.25 ounces. So, of course, Maui being the biggest of the group. And Elsa, I don't think anybody wants to see you stick your face in there. They've all just been fed, by the way, so they have very full tummies. Definitely can't put any more than that in there. Oh, goodness. Me too. I'm glad that they're back, but I also want to make sure that they take... No. They really do need to make sure that they are taking precautions and taking care of themselves. Mental health is such a big thing, so... I know, right? With their coloring and stuff. Yeah, minus the white on Maui. Maui's got one white toe in the back. Like, only one of his toes is white. The rest of his foot is black. And then he's got the white... He's got a white goatee and then white markings on his chest. But he done took off to the back, to the other side. By the way, they're inside of a tub... Like, if you guys are wondering what they're in a Tupperware. And back there is the area where there's no heating pad. So when they get too warm, they move back there. Yeah, he is a busy little guy. He always is. They all have their eyes open now, and they develop quite quickly once their eyes open. Maui's been the only one so far after feeding time that gets up, as you can see, and walks. He walks around, he checks out the environment, he wants to see what's happening, and then he'll settle down and go to sleep. So... Mr. Busybody himself. I'm going to try to slide this over just slightly and see if that works. This cam does not like to turn when you want it to. So, we're not gonna be able to get them in the camera shot, all three of them at the same time. This cam is just not that. It's just not that good. It looks like OBS is okay. There we go. Holy moly! Sorry guys. OBS decided to take a head dive. Yeah, the ear sucking can come from being taken away from mama too soon, a soothing habit, or in this case, not having a mama. Yeah, exactly. And we know that that's the case. Right, and see, Tonks, however, was with his mom until he was 12 weeks old. So he was never taken from mom early. We got Tonks when he was 12 weeks old. And he still does it. It's just a soothing habit. Like, he just does it because it's something that he loves. And he's 6. But with these guys, they don't have mom. And they don't just suck on each other's ears. They'll suck on each other's paws, each other's genitals, which is really bad because it's usually poor little tiny one, Hercules, who ends up being the target each time. And so it can be super dangerous because it can cause a lot of swelling, because when they latch on, it's really, really like they latch on. So, oh, I don't know why that asked me for approval. Yeah, they will definitely suck on anything. Oh, Sarah's up. I have the cam set so that way my door doesn't show, because I know that sometimes the kids get up and move around and whatnot, and they don't want to be on camera. So I did that. I don't know if anybody else notices, but I'm noticing it a lot in me, how much weight I have lost. I don't know if anybody else is seeing it, but I'm noticing it more and more and more. Before I couldn't really tell, but I can tell. And it is really, like, it's so weird seeing, like, my face coming back. It's so weird. And none of my clothes fit. I had to go and get a couple shirts the other day because nothing fits right. Everything is way too big on me. And I went and bought this shirt, and it's super cute. And I love it. It's really cute. But oh yeah, I've been back out doing, I'm not running right now per se, but I am doing a lot of jogging. And my friend Craig just offered to allow me to come to the gym with him because he needs someone to motivate him. And I use the park most of the time to go do my workouts. And I have been. These guys go with me in the morning. I put them in the little stroller with the heating. There's like, I have a heating bed that's portable, so you just put the little batteries in it, you put it in there, and you go, which has been great. And don't worry if anybody's freaking out. They have a full-on cover that goes over their bed that allows them to not be exposed to any outdoor elements. Because we do have to still take them to and from the vet and everything. And that's like the worst place you can go when you've got brand new puppies, is the vet clinic, because you know there's all sorts of animals that come in there sick. But the vet gave us this amazing contraption. So we have this carry case, and it's got a little bed that goes in it, and then it's got these things that go over it. But they go with me. Oh yeah, Elle says, yeah, Elle says how you feel right now, right? She is like, she's done. Look at that baby. She's like, I'm finished. So, but yeah, so that camera just does not like to turn. So Elsa's down there sleeping. You got Hercules right above our heads, and then Maui way up in the corner up there. Elsa's like your grandma's girl dog. Aww. Yeah, well, I wouldn't wait till it get... Well, Chris, depending on how cold it is, I should say. Because there are some places you definitely don't want to be running. No, we have got to get a few more parts. And I'm really just trying to decide, do I want to do this? Do I want to set it up with wooden dowels? Or do I want to go ahead and just do, like, screws, metal screws? I'm not sure yet. With metal screws, I'm going to have to really consider exactly where we place every screw so that they're not exposed to the cats. But I can't wait to, because I'm going to be filming the process. So I want you guys to be able to see it. We are making an actual like wooden structure with a proper meshing thing. No chain link this time. The chain link dog run that we have, it's one of those big 10 by 10 by 6 dog runs. They hated it. Like, they hated going out there. Whenever they would climb on the wooden beams, it would make the sound on it, and they hated it. Go figure, Maui come over and disrupt her comfiness. Maui, you're such a turd. Let's make sure. Hold on, I gotta make sure that they're not gonna wake him up. They're like, what the heck just happened? Yeah, the chain link. I was surprised. Like the first day or so, they loved it. Like they were just happy to be outside. And then after that, every time they jumped up there or would jump out, the chain link would rattle or make a crinkle, and they hated it. Little Elsa. Maui's like, I just want to play and y'all want to sleep. Little cuties. Oh. And by the way, when they do the twitching and stuff like that, it's super healthy for them. You want them to sleep deep enough that they do that, because that's it's muscle development. Mocus is like keeping her from coming inside. It's like so mean. Come here, missus. You don't need that. The black one is Maui. So yeah, she's like, excuse me, I was trying to sleep and you came and woke me up. Okay, now both the boys. Yeah, Hercules and then Maui. And then the little white one is the little girl. That's Elsa. She's like, can I just lay down and go to sleep, please? Thank you. Oh my goodness. You guys see his little white toe? Like, he has one little white toe. It's so cute. Oh, poor Winnie. She wants to come in so bad, and every time she tries, Mocus attacks her. I'm really in the air right now because I thought at first that it was going to be Winnie that was the problem. We thought maybe Winnie is the issue because she kept messing with Mocus. It's Mocus. Mocus is the problem because not only is she attacking Winnie, now she's going after Godric. And poor Godric was terrified last night. I couldn't even get him to come to me. He was so scared because Mocus happened to be sitting right on the couch, right behind where I was trying to call him. He was like, nope. He wouldn't even come near me because Mocus was right there. I finally put Mocus in the bathroom, and as soon as he saw that she wasn't where he could see her, he came right to me. So she is just being so mean. She sits by the dog door and she attacks them when they try to come into the house. And so mean. Oh, gave it, Elsa. That's cute. I know, right? Please clone all three of them, right? He's running in his sleep. Look at him. Look at him run. He's running in his sleep. How cute. Ah! I know, and that's the hardest part, is whether or not to keep Mocus or not. I don't know, but the vet said a lot of it might have to do with her medical condition, and that a lot of those cats don't make it very long. He's on his back. I know, they were both sleeping on their backs. Just look at him go. Hi, Miss Winnie Bear. Oh, sweet girl. See me from the kitties. Yeah, Mocus is definitely a firecracker. She's also, you can't pet her. She doesn't let you pet her. And she is like, if you try to, she'll bite you. She's an extremely spastic cat. Mocus is what they would call an intersexed cat. She has both sexes. We didn't find that out until we went to have her spayed, and found out that spaying her would mean she'd have to go on medication, because when they spayed her, they'd also have to take the other male counterparts that are in there, which would in turn rob her of all of her hormonal stuff, so she would have to go on therapy. So we don't have her. She's the only one that's not spayed or neutered because she's intersex. She can't get pregnant because she doesn't have ovaries, and she can't produce babies because she doesn't have. Yeah, we just didn't want to talk about it because it's such a sensitive subject, and you get a lot of people that get crazy about it. But seeing as we are doing fostering and rescuing, we're talking about animals. That is what happened. More than likely, the vet said, almost guaranteed, that is the reason Mocus's mama abandoned her, and why she was left out in the cold, is more than likely due to that fact. And so a lot of times, the reason you don't find them very often is because they usually die very young. Excuse you, can you not harass him? He is trying to sleep. Maui, you little booger. Can you let your brother just sleep? No, you're gonna go for his ear, aren't you? Yeah, and that was the thing is I had never heard of it before, ever, until Mocus. And that's why when we were saying they're fixed, they're fixed. Mocus is fixed. Nature fixed her. She can't conceive and she can't produce. But like I said, most kittens or pups that are born intersexed like that don't usually make it. They either are killed off by mama or left to die. So she never gets attention anyway, Allie. Mocus would prefer that anybody that's around leave her alone. She's just always been that way. 9 times out of 10, she's either up on top of the thing in the kitchen that she just wants people to be away from her. But I don't think it has anything to do with the pups, because she was doing this, like attacking the other dogs before the puppies got here. So we thought it was Winnie, because we've had Winnie since Christmas, and we noticed that Mocus was attacking Winnie. We thought it was because Winnie would chase her. But now we're seeing that Winnie is not is not the problem, because Winnie was chasing Mocus because Mocus would growl at her and attack her. Well, now Mocus is doing it to Godric, who, I'm sorry, buddy, but you can't keep getting after their private areas. Oh, aminals. Yeah. Sarah used to say that when she was little. So we're not getting rid of anybody. We're not rehoming anybody. Right now, the vet just wants to find out if there's a hormonal imbalance for Mocus. Because right now, with her having such a swift change, because like I said, the change happened with her when we got Winnie in the house. And we thought, okay, it's got to be that we have Winnie. And Winnie's a new dog, and Mocus is always like fit with the dogs. Like she's always just chilled with Tonks and Godric. And she's never had an issue. That's where her preferred place to be, is with the 2 boys. And then we got Winnie, and now she's attacking Godric now. Not Winnie, but Mocus. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with her. Oh, she can be. She can be sweet and playful when she wants to be. Oh, Elsa's the only one, by the way, you guys, that barks in her sleep. Oh, yeah. We wouldn't be rehoming her. It's a matter of trying to figure out what's going on with her. Yeah, and that's the thing, is right now I think the main issue is it's got to be something like because of her medical. And that there might be, because she is just about to turn 2. Yeah, sounds like a cat. Yeah, it's always under their terms. And that's exactly who she is. Godric is doing amazing, by the way, you guys. Since we brought Winnie into the house, Godric literally is like the puppy he was when we first got him. And I can't even tell you how much I love that. I'm going to move this so that way the puppies are not behind the writing. If I can. If this thing will let me move it. Ooh, okay. Don't be crazy on me, camera. I'm going to try to adjust the camera. Hold on. That didn't do any good. Okay. This thing always does that. I just want the cam. There we go. There we go. You have rainbow tonight? And I have. Oh, nice. Mr. Tut. Let me tell you about this cat. He is literally, I can't even like say it without smiling. He is literally the biggest character in the world. Like, you guys, I can't even explain the character of him. Oh yeah, she's way bigger than Hercules now, Allie. Herc is now the smallest. He is 8'8" and she is 10'2" in ounces. He's 8 pounds or 8 ounces and she is 10 ounces. So she beat him. She definitely surpassed him. But Tut is literally the biggest character you will ever meet, and the most needy cat. Like, he needs people. Like, he needs you to be with him. Sarah will come out to watch TV or something, and she'll sit down and he'll meow at her, and she's like, well, come on then. And he'll sit with you. Like, he has to have somebody with him. So he's chilling with Sarah. Bella, however, my baby, she is so chill. Like, when we had Safi, and Safi had the kittens when she had Tut and stuff, Bella was not a happy cat. These puppies, though, have super intrigued her. She's so intrigued by them. And she comes in and she sits at the foot of my bed and watches me feed them. And when they make noises, her ears perk up and she watches, but not once has she growled or hissed or spat at them. Nothing. She literally is so curious about the puppers. Like, it's so cute. I want to get this thing to where it's showing them, because they're on the heating source. Oh no. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna move the camera for a second. Thing doesn't want to grip on where I want it to. It's supposed to grip where you tell it to, but it just does not like to, just doesn't like to do that. If I put it right here on the corner, it might grip a little bit easier. There we go. We'll try that for a little bit. We might be moving the camera quite often when we're doing this. Yes, he does look like Hagrid, right? I thought the exact same thing. The funny part is, Hagrid, when he was little, wasn't solid black. Like, with Tut, you almost couldn't tell that Tut had stripes. But yeah, Hagrid, definitely, like, they have so many similarities. Like, they're big and fluffy and they're dark striped. Hagrid and them, I did tell you guys, they got a great home, by the way. All three of them two of them went together to one family, and then the one little girl went by herself. But yeah, they all went to really good families because we thought we were leaving. Saphira was extremely overprotective. Even as the kittens got big enough to actually be out and about, she still wouldn't let the kittens even play with the other animals. So we had to separate Safi away from them completely. Wow, Chris, that's crazy. That's awesome, though, that you both are doing great. Casey, I told you guys, yeah, she's great. She is out in Reno, like out in the Reno, Nevada area. She went to a place where they have a lot of goats. It's like they do goat farming. I don't even know exactly how to explain that, but they sell like goat products. So like goat milk and the hair or whatever I don't know what goats have. I don't know if it's considered hair or what, but they sell that. And goats, like the goat milk, goat cheese. Yeah, they sell all the things that come from goat. They don't sell goat meat, though. They don't kill their goats. But yeah, so she loves it out there. She literally is just like, she's got so much space, which is great for her because Casey loves to run and loves to have open area. You met your new job coach today? Nice. You're half goat. Chris. Look at Elsa running in her sleep. Aww. We noticed that Elsa is the only one so far that barks, which is so cute because she'll be sleeping like this and all of a sudden we'll hear someone bark, and it is the cutest thing. So, but everybody's doing good. Like, everybody is like, no animals are going anywhere in any time soon. These guys' date that, like, we had it set for March 3rd, has been pushed to past the 14th of March because they're going to get spayed and neutered at 8 weeks. And so because they're going to get their spay neuter done, they are going to stay here through their recovery, then go to their new homes. So this way they will all be ready to go to their new homes without having to worry about the other people, because they've been sponsored, and so their sponsorship is already paid for their spay and neuters. And so the people that are adopting them only had to pay the adoption fee, and that was it. And so that worked out amazingly well. So these little ones will be with us through the 14th of March. They're so cute. Well, the 14th is when they actually are going to be 8 weeks, and that's when the clinic will actually fix them. They need to be 8 weeks and 2 pounds in weight. And we're pretty certain they'll be 2 pounds by then. I can't, you guys. Like, literally, the cuteness is unreal. How is that literally not the cutest thing you have ever seen? Look at those little feet. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh yeah? That's crazy. Whistles in their sleep. So... But yeah, so that's the thing is with Saphira, we have to, like, when she was with her kittens, she just got super, super overprotective. And we ran into a lot of issues. There's still quite a bit of issues, and Safi is up for adoption, if anybody is wondering. We were up in the air both different ways about whether or not to keep her or to adopt her out. She is up for adoption. She still has to be kept separate from the other cats. She insists on constantly fighting with Bella. We don't have any more problems with her with Mocus or with, like, but she does go after Tut, but then again, he is a young male, and so she tries to chase him off. But when it comes to her around Bella, she constantly messes with Bella. And so we've had to keep her separate. We just can't have her around Bella. And so she is officially listed for adoption. So if anybody was wondering, Safi is up for adoption. Taylor was a little bit bummed out because he really adores her, but he has so many other animals in the house that he can love on and get affection from, and that love him just as much, especially Godric. Godric adores Taylor. Taylor is definitely a cat person, however. So if you guys are wondering, he is. Taylor would prefer a cat over a dog. So he is bummed out. But then again, Tut loves everybody, so Taylor does spend a lot of time with Tut in that place. So he goes in and spends time with Safi so that she doesn't, because of course we have to give her love and affection and attention. And she loves every last minute of it, as long as she doesn't have to be around the other animals. So she's kept separate from everybody. Okay, literally, oh my god, why am I not on Twitch right now? That was something that should have been clipped. Like, oh my god. Yeah, that would be great. I would love to get a picture of her out there with the goats. I think it'd be so frigging awesome. Goats, literally, you're so right, Allie. Goats are literally amazing. Why am I not on Twitch right now? You guys, that little roll that he did while holding his little feet. Ah! That was so cute. Oh my gosh. I literally get to live with these little cuties every day right now. And for the past 2 weeks, this is what we've experienced, is the cuteness that goes with these babies. Hi, Shona. They're so, my heart. No, he has not. But I do have a friend of ours that lives all the way out in Napa, California, that saw him on my Instagram and immediately fell in love with him. So I gave her all the information to contact the shelter. So he is the only one right now that the person who was going to adopt him has backed out. So they thought that he was going to be a bit bigger. Like, we all thought they were going to be a bit bigger because they had rapidly grown so quickly. They all almost close to tripled their birth weight already. And so he thought for sure they were going to be bigger. And when he found out that he was actually going to be that they're going to be much smaller, decided to back out. Which is that is their full choice. These babies have another 6 weeks before they're even before they'll get their neuters done, spay and neuters done, and then another week past that. So people have another 7 weeks to decide whether or not they're going to keep these babies. Oh yay! Good job, Samantha. Yum at Taco Bell. Mares eat oats, and goats eat oats, and little lambs eat ivy. A kid will eat ivy too, wouldn't you? Sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay, that's hilarious, Jeffrey. That is one of the oldest little, like, saying poem type reading things. Right, Allie? I just want to squeeze them. You know, the greatest part about it is I have fostered so many puppies and kittens in the past 20 some odd years. I have done it repeatedly, have done so many of them. We've even had litters up to 7. And you don't always get all of them to survive. Oh, you're talking about Sappy? Sappy's still here. She stays here. She's staying here with me. Yeah, we would prefer, like, if we could avoid them being in the shelter, we avoid it. Animals tend to change their demeanor when they're in a shelter setting. You know, you don't feel so old. I know, right? I read that, I was like, oh my gosh. Take me way back. But, no, we would prefer that any animal that can be fostered, be fostered. So, with Sappy, she's being fostered, and we've been fostering her for quite some time. As you guys know, we took her in when she had the kittens. They were going to be put down at the shelter. They had no room for them, and they would have preferred that they all be euthanized at that young of an age, just get it done and over with. But they also said if they could find a foster for her, then they would prefer to do that, which is what we ended up doing. So we fostered her and the kittens. So as of right now, we want to keep Tut. I would love to keep Tut. We have not had him signed over to us yet by the shelter. So they still, the 2 of them, still belong to the Bullhead City Animal Care and Welfare. They are not ours to make full-on decisions for. So we can't make decisions pertaining to them other than, like, you know, if something was emergency-wise to happen. I would love to personally keep Tut as our cat. However, that may not happen depending on if somebody decides they want to adopt him. Because I am listed as the foster parent, I do not get to have choice in the say until he is 6 months of age. And so once he hits 6 months, then I have the option to keep him. So he is only 4 months old right now, almost 5 months. There's still another like 5 weeks before we can make that decision. So if anybody was wondering, when you do fostering, you do not get a say in any of that until they are 6 months of age, or 6 months from the time that you've started their foster. Awesome, Sam. That would be awesome. I don't know. They are so cute, you guys. I cannot. Oh my gosh, the cuteness overload. But when they get to really getting into a good deep sleep, they wiggle, they twitch. All those things are really good signs when they do that, because that means that there's muscle development happening and like nerve connections. So when you see them twitching and stuff like that in their sleep, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They are making, you know, neurological connections. Oh my gosh. And I love Hercules' little face. Like when we got him, he had a little pink nose and it turned black. No, we're just chatting about puppies and everything. Look at that face. That face though. You guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, I know, right? You just want to see other puppers and stuff, so. But yeah, they're literally so cute. So cute. But yeah, so fostering, like I said, I've done for so long, and a lot of times with especially the larger litters when you get larger litters in that need to be fed, or bottle fed or hand raised, you normally the whole litter doesn't make it. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Like we almost thought we were going to lose Hercules, because he did not tolerate the formula at all when we first started. So he ended up going into one of the nights where he screamed and screamed and his belly was really upset and he was not doing so good. He became a bit lethargic. He also started to become dehydrated. And we ended up having to switch him out for just pure water. No, she's still through the Bullhead City Animal Shelter. So Sappy doesn't belong to Needles. She belongs to the Bullhead City one. That's where we're fostering her from. No, Victoria, I'm fostering these babies for the Needles Animal Shelter, for Needles Animal Control. Someone left these babies at brand new, just hours old, sitting outside in a box in front of the animal control shelter up there. And I went and picked them up and have been bottle feeding them for the past 2 weeks. They are 2 weeks old now, and 2 weeks old in 1 day. So they're starting their 3rd week of life right now. They have made it through 2 full weeks. So, and that right there, that whenever that happens, especially when you're a foster and you're doing this, that's always such a great feeling. And so it is like when you see them thriving and pushing forward, it is a great rewarding feeling. And these babies are, they've had a rough start. That first couple of days, like the first 3 days, were super rough. Because of course they knew the bottle was the only thing they've ever been introduced to. We do own Winnie, yes. Winnie is ours because when we took her over to animal control, they realized that she had just been adopted by the people across the way. And when we took her in to rescue her, they went ahead and just signed her papers at the shelter for us to keep her. So yes, Winnie is ours. Because she had already been adopted out, so technically she would be considered a stray, and if you take in a stray, then it's yours. So she wasn't their dog anymore because she'd already been adopted out. There's only one white one in the group. The little white one at the top right here, that's little Elsa, that's the little girl, and the bottom one, he's golden. So he's a golden little one over here, and that's Hercules, that's a little boy. And then the black one at the top is Maui. So, yep, there you go. Thank you, Allie. So, yes, we have Elsa is white, Hercules is gold. He's got what they would call a golden color. Technically, if we want to get all technical, Elsa's actually not considered white. Her coat may be white, but she is considered liver colored because she has a liver colored nose. Her nose did not turn black. Her nose turned liver color. So, her little foot. So that's what I did. I just learned that myself when we were at the vet. He said, well, she's a liver. And I was like, oh, what? He said, she's a liver. If she was to be a show dog in any form and she was registered, her registration would say she was liver with a white coat, which I thought was really funny, versus Hercules, who would be considered golden because most dogs have a black nose. And so that is just the norm. So you wouldn't label them as a black dog. You would label them as the color of their coat versus a dog with a liver colored nose would be liver. I thought that was crazy. You learn something new every day, and I did the other day, yesterday at their appointment. Everybody, by the way, is healthy. Hercules is on a different formula. Like his formula is the same formula that they're getting, but his is mixed differently. So whenever we do their feedings, his bottle is made separate from theirs. He does not tolerate the formula very well, even though it is made specifically for puppies. He just doesn't tolerate it as well as the two of them did. Do you have other dogs chase bunnies? We don't have any dogs here that chase bunnies, but then again, we don't have bunnies here. We do have the desert, like jackrabbits, but my dogs don't ever go out towards the desert to go interfere with those, so we don't have that problem. Yeah, they really are, Victoria. They really are very precious. So, like I said, we were really scared at first. We had one really rough night, and Herc had to go on just straight water for 24 hours. One, to rehydrate him, because he was not tolerating the stuff very well. He was, he ended up with really bad case of, this is going to sound really bad, but TMI, diarrhea and was vomiting up the formula. And then once we did the adjustment, he thrived. Like that first 24 hours of just plain water made a huge difference in him. Once he was through that, then we started adding just little by little the formula until we ended up with him properly going to the bathroom, and then we stopped. When we saw the proper, bowel movement coming out of him, that's where we had made his adjustment to that point of formula mix. So that worked out great for him. Yeah, 2 weeks, Allie, is a huge milestone. It's a great milestone because, one, their eyes are open. They're starting to become mobile. They're recently, just today, have started to go to the bathroom on their own without prompting, which was kind of funny because normally I have to help them get them going. And I got peed on while picking one of them up. So they relieved themselves all by themselves today. And I thought that was really funny. They should be. I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with that. They should be. They should have been fined. They should have had the other dog removed from them, because they still have the other dog that Winnie was adopted with. They adopted them together, but they wanted to keep the big, huge dog, and didn't want to keep her. And she paid the consequence for their ignorance and their selfishness. So I had to actually go out there and yell at the lady from across the street the other day because Winnie was jumping the fence. We have since, of course, corrected that problem by heightening up the fence. But she would call for her, and Winnie would jump the fence and run out into the street. I went out there and told her, I said, you call for my dog again one more time, I will get the cops involved. Leave her alone. Quit calling for her because you keep wanting her to jump out. Did you actually book your flights today? Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So I have to find out exactly what hotel and stuff, because I plan on driving. I'm not going to fly. One, I hate flying. Two, it's so expensive. So it's just cheaper for me to make a road trip of it. So yeah, the jumping the fence thing is so scary because our street during the day is super busy. Like, it's like one of the busiest ones because it's the only one of the streets that doesn't have the massive heel drop on it. And so a lot of people use our street to come down because it's a direct shot to the river. And so it's busy during the day. And she would come out there and she'd yell, baby girl, outside over and over again. And Winnie would jump the fence. And we kept coming out and going like, where is Winnie? And of course she comes right to us when we call and runs right back in the house. But the fact that she was jumping over the fence and running out into the road over to their yard just ticked me off. And so we finally heightened the fence up so she can't jump. And she learned kind of the hard way twice. And it's all it took her was 2 times, but she jumped up and the thing buckles inward and then springs back up. So it's got the things in the corners that pull the things back to taunt. So they'll buckle this way, but it won't go the other direction. It stiffens and it stops. So it won't buckle the other way, but it will buckle inward. So like if you have like a cat or whatnot that jumps out there, when they jump to go up, they hit that and it brings them back down into the yard. Because cats, dogs, whatever, no, you can't have that. Sorry guys. He's like, oh, there's a warm body there. But yeah, so whenever she did it twice, she jumped up and got just high enough that she grabbed a hold of Sorry, Maui is definitely our one that we have to watch when it comes to that. He is the only one that does it over and over again, so we have to move him when he gets to doing that. I know, baby boy. I wish that they made like little puppy, pacifiers for like abandoned pups. What are you doing? Sorry guys, I have to watch him because he's gonna try to roll his brother over. Yep. You can't keep doing that, mister. What time do we got? no longer have pink. That's that's considered cauliflower nose, which is also considered a defect. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Allie, and it is good. So, like I said, everybody's nose is darkened up. Elsa's is still, like, she's got what they would call the liver-colored nose. She doesn't have a pink nose, but it is not black. She does not have a black nose. She's what they would call, like, when you see, like, the red nose pits, like, people call them red nose pits. That's actually liver-colored. It's not red nose. That's just a term people came up with. That is not an actual, like, what do they call it? The Kennel Club thing, the KC whatever thing, the AKC. It's not a recognized term. It's actually liver colored. The shelter is doing. We're overbooked, which is why I'm home a bit on the early side today, because today, as sad as this sounds, today is a day of euthanasia. So there are 12 animals being euthanized today, and so I am not there for that today, because we've already done all of our morning chores, got everything else finished, and today there is 12 beautiful animals being put down today, because it is overbooked over there. There's not enough people willing to foster, and 4 of the animals that are going down today, and I won't say whether they're dog or cat, are extremely aggressive, which is why they were picked up. These were not dogs or cats. That's because that's what we have there, that were owned by anybody. These were just ones that were found in locations where they were causing a problem, and so had to take them to the shelter, and 4 of those are being put down today. They have this awesome thing I've seen fosters use. It has a heartbeat noise and a warmer. Yeah, Allie, it is. It's rough. It's rough because I going through there and picking the ones that were going down, and then moving them to the back area so that way we would know who was going, it's a hard process. It really is, and it makes it more important with what I do, like the job that I'm doing and the awareness that I do, that I've tried to promote through the vlogs, and have reaped nasty backlash, is so important. Like the message, and I'm glad that you talked with me, Allie, and let me see that who cares what those negative idiots have to say about what I do, because what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing is important. It is so important, because beautiful babies like this could have died because somebody was ignorant or was heartless, and we see it every day. I personally love my job. This is a job I have been putting in for years, to work with these guys. Years, and I love it. I love it. I'm so glad I finally was able to get this position. I have been trying for years, and it's just to have it and to know that I get to be a part of this right now is so important. And I also get to use what I'm going to school for. So I get to do a lot of photography work, and it's going to benefit not only myself, but the shelter as well. And I've even offered to do some work for the shelter here, the local one right here in town, to come over and do some photography work for them. Hopefully once I put the portfolio together with all the ones I'm doing for needles, I will be able to share that with them and let them see the work that I'm doing. Oh, Taylor's letting me know he's going to come home, do his chores, and then he's going to go up to Juan's. But yeah, so, and that's the other thing too. I filmed the other day, and so I will be putting that together to go up for you guys tomorrow. I filmed some stuff. I'm going to probably film some more today, but it was just, small little clips of, being in the job, like working with these babies and the process that goes into it. Like right now we're doing a live stream. I could totally right now be doing dishes, but I'm sitting here having a chat with you guys for right now. Okay, Sam, take it easy. Normally during the daytime, they eat roughly between every 2 to 3 hours. Hi, Katie. And so what we're hoping to do, because they are 2 weeks old now, is push them into that 3-hour window. So that sounds mean because they'll wake up roughly around the 2 hour mark and they will start rooting around. But if you just wait a few minutes, just long enough, they will go back to sleep for a little while longer and realize that they're okay. So you can push them into the 3 hour mark. Right now at night, they've been doing amazing. They've had 2 nights since we brought them home where they all were like every hour wanted to eat. And that's when they did the really rapid growing. But they will sleep at night for a good 4 hours. So Maui and that white toe just cracks me up. That little white toe. Oh my goodness. He's like, I want to eat. They literally ate an hour and a half ago. So, nope. And it's not even that he's hungry. He just wants to suckle. Yeah, they are so cute, right, Katie? They really are. These babies are definitely a lot of work. Like right now, normally, what I would be doing right now if I wasn't live streaming, I would actually be throwing the extra towels in that they've already dirtied for today. I'd get those thrown in the wash. I would go out there, I'd make sure the kitchen was cleaned up, floors were mopped. I would also make sure and check and make sure all the other animals have their clean water and everything, which they do, by the way, because I had Taylor give them all fresh water this morning. Then the other dogs will eat at 2 o'clock, so we'll have to make sure I'm wrapped up before 2, because everybody else gets fed at 2 o'clock. So I make sure I go through and check all of their litter boxes, everything. So while everybody's eating, I usually clean the litter box, which is at 2 o'clock. So that's something we'll do here at 2. So I was like, well, I wasn't expecting to be home. I normally would have been at work right now. But today is that day. It's the 1st of the month, and those decisions have to be made, and it is the hardest thing because, by the way, if you guys didn't know, that is something that is done every month on the 1st of the month. That happens here at the shelter here in Bullhead and at the shelter in Needles. They have to make space for any other animals that get picked up or for animals that need to be surrendered. But a lot of times it's the aggressive animals that get put down. 325 in Indiana. Yeah. Nice, Sam. But here's the thing, and this is what I want people to be aware of, but I talked about it in the last live stream. Animals, when they come into the shelter, they are not the same animal behavioral-wise that you take home with you. So if you meet an animal in the shelter that seems a little bit docile and quiet, a little bit timid, and they seem really like gentle and sweet, you may take that animal home, and by the end of that first week, that animal is crazy. It goes nuts, it runs around, it's hyper, it's spastic. You may even get nipped by it a couple times, because in the shelter, a lot of times animals either take on a demeanor of being super, super overly aggressive because they're scared, or they take the opposite approach and they go into this internal quietness and they just are scared and they're quiet and they don't want to, make any noise. They don't want to be around anybody. And so you have these two massive sides of things. Boston in the UK. It's 8:28 p.m. there. Wow. It's kind of getting late for you guys, huh? And so that's the thing I want people to understand. Okay, bye, Sam. Have a good day. Is that when you adopt from a shelter, you really, really, really need to do your homework on the breed of the dog that you plan on adopting. Here's the thing. When you go to a shelter, go and check out the dogs, right? Check out the cats, depending on what you're going for. Then, if you find one that you really love or that you really, really like and that you want to give it a shot, then what you do is you don't take the dog home or the cat home that day. Don't do it that day. Take 24 hours to sit on that decision. Is that the one you want? If that's the one you want, find out, make sure you know what the breed is. Make sure you know what all the information that you can about that dog. And oh my God, Hercules is just beyond the cutest. And then go home and do some research. And he comes rolling into the scene. He came in like a wrecking ball. pulling a Miley Cyrus over here. Oh my gosh, that was way cute. Welcome to the jungle there, Mr. Maui. Oh my goodness, that was so funny. Oh, Hercules. Him and his little stretches and curling up. It's so cute. Oh, Maui, you're too darn cute. That was so funny. Oh, Elsa's going for a run. I wonder what she's chasing. Here's the thing, you guys. I want to know if anybody else thinks this way. Gotta go get ready for work tomorrow night. All right. Good night, Shona. Anybody else wonder? Because like these babies, right? They get to like they're running in their sleep and stuff, right? And it makes you wonder. They're only 2 weeks old. They've never even experienced grass or life outside or any of that stuff, right? They've never played in the grass and never ran around a living room. Have never done any of that. But yet, they dream of it. Makes you wonder, how do they have those images to run and jump and play in these things when they've never even experienced anything outside of being born? It's so funny to think about. It really is. So we're getting close to needing to wrap up because they're going to want to eat here pretty soon, and that's when things get crazy. And this is the first time since they've been born I may not have to change that bedding out. May not. I may have just jinxed myself. Because normally by now they have, pottied on it and stuff like that from climbing under each other and on each other. But they've started showing signs of being able to decide when to go to the bathroom. So, Hercules is so cute. Oh my gosh. His little tiny self. Oh. He's laying with his head on the warmer. So, we're probably going to wrap up, but I just want people to be aware that these babies, or I should say, these babies here are the result of somebody being ignorant and not spaying and neutering their pet. And Brady is yelling at me for something. Even though he's got a whole fresh stack of lettuce, or not lettuce, but it's a grouping of different types of greens. He's got fresh hay, a big bowl of oats and seeds and pellets, and yet he still screams when he hears a door. Hi, baby. Oh my goodness, you're so funny. Can I say hi to everybody? We're trying to get her room all organized so we can get rid of a bunch of that stuff so we can look. Little twitchy girl. Aww. They're so cute though. But alright, you guys, we're going to wrap it up and just say thank you guys for hanging out with us today. I hope everybody's enjoying the direction that the channel is taking at this time. And yeah, so I think that we're going to call it a day. We will see you guys on Saturday at, I think I have it scheduled for 2 p.m. Oh, excuse me. Is it 1 p.m.? No, 1 p.m. I have it scheduled for 1 p.m. To come in and hang out with you guys on Saturday. So, I have that already scheduled out.
Oh gosh.
How can that not be the cutest thing in the world, right? Like, how can people just not find that to be the cutest thing in the world?
Babies.
Oh, and by the way, this is a big step. Today's the first day they don't have a cover over the top of their bed because they're getting old enough now to start regulating their temps.
I have a puppy pouch.
Yeah, right. They're getting a little too big for that.
Very cute.
But they're getting ready to want to eat soon, guys. So we're going to go. I'm going to go make some fresh bottles and get ready to feed them and make sure dishes are finished. So you guys, see you guys on Saturday, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here, Life with the Jays, Foster and Rescue. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye. As she gives them a stretch.